Money doesn't discriminate. It doesn't know how. It's just paper. So if you want to attract more money, you need to understand the 5 laws of money. What's up, everybody? I am Jaspreet Singh from theminoritymindset.com, where money minds rethink rich. Money is a tool. It doesn't make you a good person, and it doesn't make you a bad person. Money is just a tool that amplifies who you are. If you're a good person and you have more money, now you have a tool to do more good. If you're a bad person and you have more money, well, now you have a tool to do more bad. This is why we need more good people with money. When I was growing up, money was one of those things that I was not allowed to talk about in the house. It was just one of those things that I assumed that if you went to school and you got a good job, that money would be okay. But the reality is that's not how it works. And so we need to start getting serious about money and understanding money, because everybody is going to school to get a good job. That way you can ultimately make more money. And if you don't believe me, then just tell your boss not to pay you. Now, obviously, money isn't everything. It's just one aspect of our lives. And money by itself is not going to make you happy. But if you don't have money, well, it can make you very miserable, because if you don't have money, now you're going to be stressing about your bills. If you don't have money, you're going to be stressing about buying your spouse a vacation. If you don't have money, you're going to be worried about how you can send your kids to college. If you don't have money, you're going to be very stressed about how you're going to take care of your parents as they get older. The reality is it is crucial for you to understand money if you want to be able to live a happy and wholesome life. But the reality is so many people put up a smoke screen when we start talking about money. They say, oh, don't worry about money, or money is taboo, or don't stress about money, it will just come and take care of itself. When the reality is people just put up these smoke screens because they don't understand money themselves, and they get uncomfortable when they start talking about money. What I want you to do now is to break out of that uncomfortableness and start really looking at money at what it is. That way you can understand money and win with money. That way you can live your best life financially free. This starts by talking about the 5 laws of money, which I'm going to be talking about today. But before I get into these 5 laws, I need you to do me a quick favor and smash that thumbs up button below. And if you're looking for some extra guac with some more Minority Mindset, we have a few new Minority Mindset YouTube channels that you can check out. We have the Minority Mindset news channels, where Nate publishes daily finance and business updates every single day. We have the Minority Mindset clips channel, where you can watch shorter Minority Mindset videos, somewhere between 8 to 12 minutes long. And we have the Minority Mindset Spanish channel, where you can watch our financial education content in Spanish. So if you want to check out these other YouTube channels and subscribe, I'll put the link to where you can do that in the description below. The first money law that I want to go over today is that money is a representation for value. When you go to work every single day and your boss gives you a $1,000 paycheck, this $1,000 that you have is a representation of the value that you provided to your company. You went to work every single day and you got some value. Now, this is where it pays to understand what your money really is. Because back in the day, this money was our barter system, right? It was people who had cows and chickens and eggs. You used to have this value that you produced. Maybe you had some eggs and then you would convert it to somebody else's value. Maybe somebody else had milk that you wanted, so you would be able to convert your eggs for this milk. Well, then people got a little bit more sophisticated, and we started using gold as this representation of value. That was what money was, gold, because it took time, effort, and labor to mine an ounce of gold. And so gold was a real representation of value, because if you wanted more gold, it took more time, effort, and labor. And so now, if you were able to accumulate gold, now you had more physical money, because it was a real representation of value. It took time, effort, and labor to mine all this gold, and now you owned all this value that was produced out of it. The problem with carrying around physical gold, though, was it was really inconvenient. And then if you wanted to buy something small, you'd have to slice up your gold, and it was just a lot of work to take your gold and pay for things with gold. That's when paper money came out. Paper money was first a certificate for the amount of gold that you owned. So you would take your gold and take it to the bank, and then the bank would give you an IOU, a certificate of how much gold that you owned, and then you had this paper money which represented the amount of gold that you owned. So now if you paid somebody with the paper money, this person would have paper money which they could then redeem for physical gold. Remember, gold was the money and paper money was just a way for you to transact that gold. Well, then in 1971, President Richard Nixon took the dollar off of the gold standard, which meant that you could no longer easily convert dollars to gold. They were different. And so now you were able to print money without having to produce more gold. Because before, if you wanted to print more money, you had to produce more gold. They were connected. Now, after 1971, you didn't have to do that. The dollar became just paper backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. After that day in 1971, financial education became infinitely more important because now the money that you're working to earn every single day is really just paper. It's not backed by any real tangible value. The only value that is backed by is the full faith and credit of the United States government. Now, lucky for us, we are in a state where the United States government is the most powerful country in the world. It has the most powerful military presence. It has the strongest economy in the world. And the dollar is the world's reserve currency. But now you have to also understand and protect yourself because no country, no empire, no company can last forever. I mean, when you're at top, then every other country in the world is trying to take your spot. And so you want to be smart and understand what your dollars are, your money is, that way you can convert it to something real. Because I mean, if we just think about it practically, it costs about 12 cents to print a $100 bill. As opposed to with gold, this physical money, it took real time, effort, and labor to mine an ounce of gold, and that value of your gold was represented by how much time, effort, and labor it took to produce the gold. Now, with money, it takes a couple push of a buttons and now you can print out a $100 bill. What this means is if you go to work for 10 years and you save all this money, you're gonna save up a lot of money because you put in a lot of value over this 10 years at your job. But if you just keep this money in the bank somewhere, your money is not gonna grow. It's gonna sit there flat. But because this money that you're saving is just paper money, the United States government has the ability to print money on command. And we've seen this happen year after year after year. The United States government keeps printing more money. The United States national debt keeps growing. And when that happens, more dollars enter our economic circulation. And each new dollar now dilutes the value of another dollar. Because as you have more dollars in an economic system, the value of each dollar goes down. That's why the price of Coca-Cola has gone up by 20 times over the years. It's not like the value and the taste of a Coca-Cola has gotten 20 times better. It's that the value of your dollar, which is buying the Coca-Cola, has dropped. That's why the first law of money is really just understanding what money is supposed to be. Money is supposed to be a representation of value. But when you just hoard these paper dollars can be manipulated by the Federal Reserve Bank and the government, which means that you can go to work and produce $50,000 worth of value, but that $50,000 worth of value that you provide can be manipulated because the Federal Reserve Bank can just print a whole bunch of money, and now your $50,000 of value that you worked hard to provide really won't have that much value anymore because now there's so many more dollars in our circulation. So what you want to do is first understand this, and now when you're going to work to earn this money, these paper dollars, you want to convert these paper dollars into something that will hold its value. On one end, this could be something like gold and silver, or it could be cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency is a whole lot more volatile, and you want to make sure you understand what you're doing in cryptocurrency before you just blindly throw your money in there. But there's a lot of opportunity in cryptocurrency. This could be putting your money into the stock market because now you're investing your money into assets, where now you're investing your money into companies that you believe in, or you're investing your money into the general American economy if you're investing your money into index funds or ETFs. This could mean investing your money into physical real estate, buying rental properties, which will now pay you with cash flow, and now you own a tangible, real asset that you can see, feel, and touch. What you need to do is not just hoard all of your extra cash. There is a time and place for savings. You need to save money for emergencies. You need to save money to buy your purchases. And you need to save money for your investments, but you don't want to just be saving your money just to save it. Your cash is only backed by a promise. It is a liability. It is losing value each and every day. And so the first thing you need to do is understand that way now you can make smarter decisions with your money instead of just keeping all of your cash in your bank account. You want to use your cash smartly. That way you can use your cash to buy assets which will either maintain its value or make you more money. The second law of money that I want to go over is that money rewards value. It does not reward hard work. Money is a byproduct of the value that you provide. It is not a byproduct of how hard you work. This was a really hard lesson for me to grasp because I grew up with this mentality with the harder you work, the more money that you're gonna make. Now, hard work is very important. I work very hard, but there is a right way and a wrong way of working hard. If hard work was the most important indicator as to how much money you would make, then every construction worker and every laborer would be a millionaire, but they're not. Why? Because money is a byproduct of the value that you provide. It is not a byproduct of how hard you work. Now, hard work is important when it comes to providing the right value, but this is where it pays to understand how to work hard in the right direction. The simplest way to understand this is to understand the three different types of work that you can do. You have the labor work, then you have the busy work, and then you have the thinking work. Labor work is really what most people consider as hard work. You're going out and you're working at a construction site. You're going out and you're doing heavy things. You're lifting heavy things and you're moving things. You are breaking your back to do this type of labor work. This type of work is hard, but it also pays the least. Now, the more skilled you become here, the more money you can make. That's why you have specialized people in the construction industry that can make a whole lot of money. But if we're just talking about general labor, people who are picking things up and putting them down, it is a very hard job. It is a very physical intensive job, and you don't make a lot of money. Then we have more of the busy work. This is what a lot of people who graduate college are working as. You get your first or second job and you're working as a low-level associate for a lot of companies, and in this case you're doing a job that could really be automated, but companies really don't want to figure out how to do that. And either you're making phone calls, trying to get clients, you are a customer success manager, you are an analyst, and you're just reviewing Excel sheets, or you're making Excel sheets, but you're just doing a whole lot of busy work where every single day you're grinding. You were just hitting the books, you're hitting the papers, you're on the computer, working day after day after day, doing this type of busy work. You can make more money here than here, but the real money comes here in the thinking work. These are your executives in the company. Your executives in the company are not working every single day doing this type of busy work. They're not on Excel every single day trying to build spreadsheets and trying to build analysis and formulas. What they're doing is they're thinking, how do we allocate our capital? How can we come up with new business ideas? How can we invest in growth? How can we innovate for the future? This is the highest paid work, but physically, it is the least hard work. This is why you have to understand how money is a byproduct of value. Because now when you go to a restaurant and you buy $100 dinner, what you're doing is you are giving the restaurant $100 because they gave you some sort of value. They gave you a nice meal, which in this case is worth $100, so you paid them $100 in exchange for the value that you provide. If you want to attract more money, because you and I can't actually make money, only banks can do that, but if you want to attract more money, then you have to provide more value. That means if you are the restaurant owner, maybe you have to provide another dessert, or you have to provide more food options, you provide better customer service, which allow you to now charge more money, which provide more value to the customer, and now the customer will be willing to pay you more money. The more value that you can provide that the marketplace needs, the more money that you will make. Because if you have some sort of value that the world really wants, the world wants whatever it is that you're providing, then you'll have a lot of people willing to pay you money for it. And if it's very valuable, then you'll have more people willing to pay you more money for it. This is why a doctor will earn more money than a cashier at McDonald's, because a doctor will provide more unique value that's needed by the marketplace than a cashier at McDonald's. You have billions of people around the world that can run the cashier, but you don't have as many people that can be doctors and perform surgeries. And the people that earn more money than doctors are the people that own the hospitals. Every Indian parent right now is going to hate me for saying this, but the reality is this is where doctors are. Doctors are people that are doing busy work. Now, it's very important, and it's not the same thing every single day because you got to do a different surgery in every single person, but the reality is this is where doctors fall. The owners of hospitals are trying to think of how they can allocate capital. They're trying to figure out how to grow, how to attract more patients, how do we expand it to more hospitals, how do we expand it to more procedures. This is the thinking work, this is the busy work. So the doctors are here, which is why the owners of hospitals make more money than the doctors working at hospitals do. This doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy a hospital. This also doesn't mean that you have to go out and start a business. This means that you need to understand how this works. That way you can now start providing more value. And if you love your job, if you know you're not an entrepreneur, then the way that you do that is by using your money that you're earning to now buy this value. The way that you do that is by investing your money into assets. You want to buy an asset, which is now value, it's a representation of value. That way you can own something that is working to provide more value to the marketplace. So if you save up some money and you go out and you buy a rental property, what you just did is you bought an asset. Now, in order for this asset to provide more value, the way you do that is now you turn this home that you just bought into a rental property. So you rent it out to somebody else, and now somebody else is going to live in your property that you own, and it's going to provide value. It's going to provide shelter. It's going to provide a home for them to live in, and in exchange for this asset providing value, the people that are living there are going to pay you rent every single month. So now you use your money to buy a value producing asset, and now you're getting paid every single month, right? Money is a byproduct of the value that you provide. Or you can invest your money into stocks. You invest your money into companies, because now you're investing your money into something that you believe in. If you go out and invest your money into Amazon, again, not telling you what to do, just an example. If you invest your money into Amazon, now Amazon is working hard every single day. They have people who are the executives trying to think of how to expand. They have people that are the busy workers. These are the engineers working every single day figuring out how to code the company. And then you got the laborers, the people that are making sure your packages get to your door. So now when you invest in the Amazon company, even if you are a worker at Amazon, you can be one of the owners of Amazon. And now what you're doing is you are owning a piece of the company. So as the company provides more value to the world, they will make more money, which will ultimately make the company worth more money, which will make your investment now more valuable. This aspect of understanding how money rewards value is so important no matter where on this scale that you work, because even if you're here working close to minimum wage, you need to understand how to use your money, because if you are not going to start your own business, if you don't feel that you can get over here, then what you can do is you can use your money to buy a piece of ownership, to buy this value. Put aside whatever you can. That way now you can invest your money into the things, into the people, into the companies, into the properties that are now working hard to earn you more money through the value that your money is providing. Also, I just realized that I never changed 1 to 2, but now let's move on to number 3. The third money law that I want to go over, and I actually remember to change the number this time, is that freedom comes with wealth. Freedom is not in riches. The best definition that I have of this is that riches are measured in what you can buy, and wealth is measured in time. If you have $1 million, then you're rich. You can go out and buy yourself a fancy car. You can buy a nice home. You can go on some fancy vacations. But eventually, you're going to run out of this $1 million and you're no longer going to be rich. You're going to have a whole bunch of nice things, but you have no money left and now you're no longer rich. Wealth is different. Wealth is measured in time, and wealth is when your assets are greater than your liabilities. And what this means now is, let's assume that your expenses every single month, your liabilities are $3,000 a month, but every single month you get a check in the mail from your assets. You get a check from your investments, and your check every single month is $3,500. Now you are free. Now you are wealthy, because every single month your assets are paying for your liabilities, and you have time to do whatever it is that you want. You're not going to be tied down to a job that you hate. You're not going to be forced to do things that you don't want to do, because you're already wealthy. You got your time. Now you can use your money however you want. If you have $1 million and you're spending $100,000 a month, well, now your $1 million only is worth 10 months of wealth, because after this $1 million is spent, now you have nothing. You're not wealthy. You might have a whole bunch of nice things that make you look rich, but in reality, you're broke. Wealth comes with time. That's why freedom comes with wealth, and the goal to be financially free, the goal should be wealth, not riches. And the way that you do that is by working here to buy more assets. You can see how everything is kind of building on top of one another, right? These assets are the things that we've been talking about. This could be buying rental properties. This could be investing your money into the stock market. This could mean investing your money into cryptocurrency. This could mean investing your money into metals like gold. Although I don't really consider gold an investment. To me, gold is really just money. It's physical money, real money that has value that you can measure through the time, effort, and labor that it takes to mine gold. I own physical gold, and for me, that's just money. But these investments are assets that you now want to own. That way you have this sort of wealth. Freedom. See, what every wealthy person does is anytime they get paid, anytime they get money, the first question that they ask is, how can they pay themselves? How can they invest as much money as possible? This might mean buying rental properties. This might mean investing money in stocks, whatever it is. And then after they invest their money, then they're going to see, how do I spend whatever's left? What should I spend my money on? Because what wealthy people are doing is they're living off of their assets. Their assets are out making the money, and that's the money that they live off of. I don't work for money. I don't work to get paid, that way I have money to spend. I work to buy assets, and then I live off of the money that my assets are paying me. And so this is the mindset that you have to work towards. It's not something that happens overnight. This is something that happens over years, if not a few decades, but this is something that you have to be striving towards, and the more aggressive that you can be, the faster it will happen. If you're investing in physical real estate, well, now you own a property that's going to be paying you with cash flow. The downfall with real estate is it takes a lot of capital for you to go out and start investing in real estate. If you're investing in real estate, well, now you can go out and buy a property that's going to be paying you with cash flow. The problem with that is going out and buying a property isn't very easy, and it takes a lot of work, and it also takes a lot of capital. I mean, it takes a lot of cash to go out and buy a house or an apartment complex. You can also invest your money in the stock market. The stock market works because it's very accessible. You can invest your money into ETFs. You can invest your money into individual companies that you believe in, that you think are innovating for the future. Now again, just because it's accessible doesn't mean it's easy, but it provides opportunity for you to now invest your money and build real wealth. And if I'm just focusing in on the stock market, you can choose how you can get paid. You can get paid through this type of cash flow if you're investing in dividend-paying companies, or you can invest in individual companies or ETFs. That way you can get long-term growth. Again, it just depends on what your goal is, which is why you need to be financially educated. That way you can invest your money the right way. If you are looking for guidance on how to invest your money in the stock market, you can check out our Stock Market Insiders program, where you get a weekly coaching session from one of our stock market coaches. It's a group coaching session where you'll learn something new, and then you'll apply what you learned to whatever's going on in the market right now, because these are live coaching sessions every single week. And you also get access to your own exclusive community of serious investors. So you get your own private Discord channel where you can talk about investment picks, you can talk about ideas, and you can network with other investors. Our Stock Market Insiders program is not a class, because you're getting access to live coaching sessions every single week, although you do also get a free stock market class when you enroll. That we can get all the basic information as soon as you log in, and you can try it out for free. We have a 10-day free trial that you can test it out with. That way you can go through the coaching sessions, you can check out the free class, you can go through our previous recordings, and you can chat in the Discord channel and ask your questions. And then after your trial, you can see if it's right for you. That way you can see if it's worth the money or not. And we try to keep it very affordable. I mean, it costs less than the price of dinner for two. So if you want to check out Stock Market Insiders and try it out with the free 10-day trial, I'll put the link to how you can do that in the description below. Or you can look at investing your money into cryptocurrency. Again, this is why education is so important. A lot of people still don't understand the value of cryptocurrency, because there's a lot more to it than just a physical currency. There's a whole technology behind it, which is really gaining a lot of popularity now. And there are ways for you to earn interest on your cryptocurrency. You'll earn more interest here than you will by keeping your money in the bank account. But you have to be educated. That way you understand the risks, that way you understand what you're doing, and that way you understand what it is that you're investing in. The fourth law of money that you have to understand is that your money is blind. It needs directions. If you do not tell your money where to go, it is going to get lost. So what you need to do now as the owner of your money is you need to understand what each dollar that you earned needs to do. That way your money has a job. That way it can earn you more money. And the only way that you can do that is if you give your money directions. The easiest way to do that is to create a financial system for yourself. For example, I talk about creating a system like our 75, 15, 10 plan, which means that from now on, every single dollar that you earn is going to follow this funnel. It's going to go down the system where 75 cents out of every dollar that you earn is the maximum that you can spend. 15 cents out of every dollar that you earn is the minimum that you're investing, and 10 cents out of every dollar that you earn is the minimum that you should be saving. Now, what you're doing is you created a financial system. You're always paying yourself first, you're putting some money aside for your savings, and you know the maximum that you can spend. Now, if you can, you want to do less of this and more of this, but this is the type of financial system that you need to create, because now what you're going to do is okay, this is the money that I'm going to invest. This is the money that you're using to buy assets every single month, and this is the money that you're using to build up your savings cushion. After you build your savings cushion, somewhere between 3 to 12 months worth of expenses, depending on your risk tolerance, you don't want to be saving any more money. So you're going to allocate this right here. So now you're investing 25% of every dollar that you earn. This is money that you're putting towards whatever your assets are, and as that makes more money, you just keep funneling the system. This is where a lot of people say something like, oh my God, Jaspreet, how in the world am I supposed to live off of only 75 cents out of every dollar that I earn when I'm already struggling? I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. Well, just think of it kind of like a new tax. If the government gave you a brand new 25% tax, what would you do? Well, you'd complain for a little bit, and then you'd find a way to make it work. This is exactly it. You want this money to automatically go into a separate account, that way this doesn't accidentally get spent. So you can create different bank accounts, and now when you get paid, you keep this money in your checking account, which you're allowed to spend. Ideally spend less, but you're allowed to spend this. You put this money automatically into an investment account. It doesn't automatically have to be invested today. I mean, this is money that you just need to know that will be invested. There's different strategies that you can use, whether it's passive investing or active investing. This is just money that you need to invest, and this is the money that you're going to keep aside for an emergency. No, Gucci going on sale is not an emergency, but you want to keep this cash aside just in case an emergency happens, that we have liquid cash to fall back on. That way, if you lose your job, if your kid breaks his or her arm, you have some cash to fall back on. And the fifth law of money has to do with you understanding how money plays a part in our lives, because everybody says money will not make you happy, money is not everything, but the reality is money does play a big part in your life. You just need to understand how and where it plays a part in your life. So I like to follow something called the quadruped triangle. This is something that I created, which I believe helps to diagram how money plays a part in our lives. So our lives are kind of comprised of 4 different parts, which can fall into this triangle. Maslow has his hierarchy of needs. I have this quadruped triangle. At the bottom of this quadruped triangle is physical fitness. And I call it fitness because you need to be fit in these 4 categories if you want to be able to live a happy and healthy life. Physical fitness means if you were on your deathbed right now, it doesn't matter if you got $10 million. The only thing you're going to care about is how can you be healthy? How can you breathe? How can you be able to walk again? Right? So at the bottom, you have to be physically fit, because if you're morbidly obese, if you have a tough time breathing, it doesn't matter how much money you have. The only thing you're going to care about is how can you be healthy. After you are physically fit, then it's all about mental fitness. Mental health is finally getting some traction, and people are finally starting to talk about it and care about it. This is so important. I used to be one of those people who used to always say, depression doesn't matter, depression isn't real. And then I started to see my own friends go through it, people that I loved, people that I care about, and I have seen people very close to me take their lives because of this. Mental health is so important. If you are depressed, if you are anxious, and it is eating up your life, it doesn't matter how successful you become. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You will never be able to live happy. So what you need to do if you are struggling with this mental fitness is, 1, obviously surround yourself with people that you love, get rid of toxic people, but then get yourself the support that you need. Get a therapist, talk to a psychiatrist, check yourself into rehab if you need to. It doesn't matter what the cost is. Go and spend it, because even if you have to spend $25,000 to go into rehab to take care of yourself, well, it's an investment in you, because unless this is taken care of, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter how much money you have if over here you are not okay. So you got to be physically fit, you got to be mentally fit, and then you got to be spiritually fit. Now, this doesn't have to mean religious. Spiritually fit is, what is your purpose? What are you getting up to do every single day? What is your passion? What is your purpose? What are you getting up for to accomplish every single day? Why are you on this earth? Every single person has a different passion and a different mission, which is one of the reasons why I love entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurs are in the business of solving problems. Somebody cares more about world hunger. Somebody cares more about the environment. Somebody cares more about the animals in the ocean, right? Everybody has their own passion. Everybody has things that they care about. And this is where you got to figure out, what are you spiritually here for? What is your purpose? What is your passion? Because every single person here has a reason for why you need to get up every single morning. But if you don't know that, then it doesn't matter how much money you have. More money is just going to make you more miserable. You need a reason to get up every single morning. There's a book by Tony Hsieh, the old CEO of Zappos, where he wrote a book called Delivering Happiness. And in that book, he talks about how he had made millions and millions of dollars by selling a company, and then he became miserable because he didn't have a purpose. And so then he went out on his purpose, on his mission, to figure out what it is that makes him happy. And that's when he co-founded and really helped to grow Zappos, the company. And that's where he found his purpose in helping companies build their corporate culture and really developing cultures of companies. So you got to figure out what it is that makes you happy, what it is that you are here for, and what is your purpose. Once you have these 3, this is where financial fitness comes in. Money is just the tip. It's the tip of the iceberg. But if you don't have money, it is going to ruin every other aspect of your life, because you're going to be stressed about paying your bills. You and your partner are going to be fighting all the time because one person's going to be spending too much money. One person's not going to care about saving money. One person's going to be just racking up credit card debt. You have to be financially fit if you want to be able to live a happy life. You got to get rid of the smoke screen of saying that money is taboo. Don't talk about money. What you need to do is understand how money plays a part in your life. And once you do that, now you can work to be financially healthy. by getting financially educated. Financial education is all just improving this right here. This is what we talk about on this channel. Your financial education is going to help you here. It's not going to help you here, but it will help you here. And once you have this, it can help you live a full, happy life, but you need these as well. If you enjoyed what you saw so far, then you're gonna love this. Let's talk about money for a second, okay? Because the majority of people are spending their lives chasing money, but they have no idea of how money really plays a part in their lives. So money, this cash is just paper. This paper honestly has no value unless you use it. That's what people actually want. It's not the money that people really are after, it's what money can buy you. But one thing that so many people get confused and why so many people are miserable is because they don't understand how and when and why money plays a part in their lives. Money is important, okay? We are not one of those theoretical channels that just talk about things that don't make any sense in reality because you need money in order to survive. Anybody who tells you money is not important is either broke or they're delusional. Money is what buys your kids clothes. Money is what buys you food. Money is what puts a roof over your head, and money is what buys your car. Now, while money is important, it is not the only thing that matters in life. And this is where so many people get confused because they don't really understand where and how much to value money in their life. Let me draw you a little triangle. This quadruped triangle really will help you understand how money really plays a part in your life. So this you could think of kind of as what are the building blocks of living a happy life, because at the end of the day, the goal is to be happy, not rich. If you are rich and miserable, what's the point, right? But at the bottom of this quadruped triangle is physical fitness. If you want to live a good life, the very first thing you have to do is be physically fit, okay? If you are on your deathbed, if you are so morbidly obese that you cannot live your life, if you are not physically healthy to the point where you cannot live your life, nothing else matters. If you're on your deathbed, it does not matter if you have $10 million in your bank account. It does not matter. When you are sick, when you are hurt, the only thing that you want is to be healthy. When you are healthy, you can have a million desires, you can have a million missions, you can have a million dreams, and you can work towards these things. But if you're not physically healthy, nothing matters because you can't even start working towards these things. So the very first thing you have to do, if you want to be able to enjoy money and enjoy your life and live happy, is you have to be physically fit. If you are physically fit, then you can start moving up this quadruped triangle and move to the second building block, which is mental fitness. This is something that is now starting to really get some attention, which is good news, but mental health is a real thing, okay? If you are not happy, if you are miserable, if you are depressed, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million in your bank account if you are depressed and miserable because you won't be able to enjoy it, okay? The first thing you need to do before you can get there, after you're physically fit, is make sure you are mentally fit too. Surround yourself with people that love you. Work on things. Find things that make you happy. If you are not happy, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You are not going to be able to enjoy it because you are not mentally healthy. Now there are resources available for you out there. If you are really depressed, you have a lot of anxiety, you cannot live your life, talk to a therapist. There are resources for you out there. But if you are not mentally fit, you will not be able to enjoy money or enjoy your life. Okay, this is why everybody says money can't buy happiness, because a lot of people are hurting right down here. They think, oh, I have this void in my life. I am not happy, but if I just had $1 million, then I'd be happy. And then you get that $1 million and then you realize, oh, I'm more miserable now than before because money fuels you. If you are unhappy, more money is going to make you more unhappy. Once you are physically fit and you are mentally fit, then you can move on to the third block, which is spiritually fit. Now, being spiritually fit doesn't mean religious. Being spiritually fit means having a purpose in life. What is the reason you are on this earth for? Why do you get up every morning? What is your purpose? That's what being spiritually fit is, okay? So once you're physically healthy, you have a good life, you have a good body. Once you're mentally healthy, you have a good mind. Now you can work on finding your purpose. What is your reason for being on this earth? This is what being spiritually fit is all about. If you do not have the spiritual fitness, then you are just kind of just flying through the world like a plastic bag. You don't know why you're here and you don't have a reason to get out of bed. But if you have a reason to get out of bed every single morning, now you have this drive to just conquer the world. And this is what helps people live that happy life. If you don't have the spiritual fitness, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're gonna feel like you have no purpose in life. Once you're physically fit, and then you're mentally fit, and then you're spiritually fit, that's where money plays a part. Everybody says money cannot buy happiness because they assume that people are going to make money here to either make up for the lack of spiritual fitness, the lack of their mental fitness, or the lack of their physical fitness. This is where money cannot buy happiness because, yeah, you cannot use money to make up for a void in one of these things. And this is what so many people try to do. They think, oh yeah, I'm not healthy, but if I was rich, things would be better. Or, yeah, I'm not happy, but if I was rich, then I'd have more friends. Or, yeah, I have no purpose, but maybe if I'm rich, I'll feel like I have a purpose. But that's not how it works. Money and financial fitness helps you here. It helps you be financially fit, nothing else. That's why if you want to live a great life and you want to live a rich life, you need to understand how money plays a part in your life and where money plays a part in your life. Because in order to really enjoy this money that you have, you need to make sure you have the building blocks first. I can't tell you how many people I know, and I'm sure you know people like this too, that are lacking either here or here. They are not happy in their life for one reason or another, or they feel like they have no purpose, yet they're sitting here chasing money, just trying to get more money, thinking and hoping that having more money will compensate for these two things. It doesn't work like that. I'm sure you've heard of people that are rich, millionaires and billionaires that are miserable. Well, why does that happen? It's because they're lacking here, here, or here, and then they're trying to use money to make up for the other parts of their life. Having more money helps with the financial part of your life. That's it. And then once you do have more money and you have these building blocks, then you can use this money to amplify these things. You can use your money to improve your physical fitness. You can use your money to do more things that make you happy. You can use your money to help serve your purpose. But if you don't have these things, then this money is just going to help amplify that void because money is fuel. It amplifies who you are. If you are a bad person and you are miserable and you have more money, now you're going to be more miserable and you have a tool, this money, to do more bad deeds. If you are a good person and you're happy and you have more money, now you have a tool, this money, to do more things that make you happy, and you have a tool to do more good. Our brand talks so much about financial education because the reality is money does play a part in our lives. Yeah, many of us don't understand where or how, but money is important. But at the same time, many of us are never taught how to use money and understand money the right way. And in our culture and society, it's just almost like taboo to talk about money. It was the same way for me. When I was growing up, I was always told, don't talk about money, don't worry about money, don't think about money like that because it's bad. But I was also told to go and become a doctor because for my parents and a lot of my family, the richest people that they knew and the most successful people that they knew were doctors. So they assumed, okay, if you go and become a doctor, then you'll be able to become successful and then you can live a great life. But things just didn't add up for me. If money doesn't matter, you're not supposed to talk about money, why do I have to go and become a doctor to earn this high salary when money isn't that important? Many of us create these smoke screens in our lives. We say things like money doesn't matter, or don't talk about money, or money is bad because we don't have money ourselves and we don't understand why we don't have it. And so we just say, oh, don't worry about money, as kind of this smoke screen to cover up our financial issues. We need doctors. But I realized that I was going down this medical route, pre-med route, when I was in middle school and high school and college for all the wrong reasons. You should become a doctor because you want to be a doctor, not because of the salary. That's just one of the perks of being a doctor and having the value that you have. That's when I had to start asking myself, okay, how do I get that doctor financial freedom? Because everybody thinks doctors are financially free and rich when there's a lot more to the story than that, but that's what everybody thinks, right? And that's what I thought too. How do you get that doctor financial freedom without being the doctor? Oh, you just work on the financial freedom. That's when I dove into entrepreneurship and I started an event planning business in college because I thought, okay, now if I make this money, I can work towards being financially free. The problem was I didn't like what I was doing. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm not into the party business, but I was hosting parties every single week. And a few years into it, I got burned out. The business was making great money, but I just didn't like doing it. The business failed, but I didn't. Yeah, we made good money, but beyond that, I learned a lot. I learned how business worked. I learned how to get customers. I learned how to sell. I learned how to market. And even more importantly than that, I learned how money really plays a part in our lives. Life is like a cake and money is the icing. If you are not happy and you're miserable, it doesn't matter how much money you have, the icing, okay? If you have a bad cake and you try to slather it and cover it up with a whole bunch of icing, the cake is still gonna taste like crap because the cake, the life is miserable. But this is where things get interesting because if you have a great cake but no icing, the cake is still not as good as it can be because the cake is going to be dry. Money is still a part of the life. You still need the icing on the cake. You can be physically fit and mentally fit and spiritually fit, the first three things in the quadruped triangle. But if you don't have money to pay your bills and eat and do things that you love, you still can't live the fulfilled life. Money is fuel. It's a tool. It amplifies who you are. If your goal is to feed hungry people and you only have $100, you might not be able to feed that many people. But if you want to feed hungry people and you have $1 million, now you can feed a whole lot more people. And if you want to be happy and live your life to the fullest, you need to have money, but you also need to have the physical fitness and the mental fitness and the spiritual fitness. That way money can amplify your life. That way you can live your life to the fullest. This is really the core of financial education. Yeah, financial education is all about using your money the right way and investing your money and growing your money and earning more money. But at the core, if you do not understand how money plays a part in your life, that way you can live the best life possible, what's the point? Remember the building blocks: physical fitness, mental fitness, spiritual fitness, and then at the top of it is financial fitness. You need to have the bottom building blocks before the financial fitness can really amplify your life. Now, once you get to the financial fitness part of your life, that's where it's all about learning how to use your money and invest your money and grow your money. And if you do want to learn more about that and how you can use your money the right way, we have a free ebook on money management and investing that you can read for free when you sign up for our financial education emails, which are also free. You can get our free ebook and start reading our financial education emails by clicking the link up here or by clicking the link in the description below. By the way, our financial education emails are separate from our financial news emails. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, here's a video on how to build wealth that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, download our free guide on how to invest your money in the stock market. And as always, keep hustling. Now what's going to happen, you're going to take 15% of whatever's in there. So for every $100 you make, $15 is going to go into an investment account.